Here are 5 things that you can do in your commercial cleaning company to keep your clients paying you forever. Well, as close as to forever as we can get. Hey, I'm Matt, your 7-figure commercial cleaning CEO, and the rate at which your clients either leave your business or how long they stay with your business is going to directly determine how large your company gets and how fast it grows, or if it stalls and declines. It is what we like to call churn. Now, none of us like to actually call it churn because it means that our business is losing money. And churn is essentially how much of your revenue is leaving your commercial cleaning company every single year. So let's take a $500,000 per year cleaning business, for example. If you have a 10% churn, that means that every single year, $50,000 leaves your business. And you drop back down to $450,000, you need to do something that's going to make up that difference. Now, the danger with churn is this. You can have a relatively low churn, but let's say you're growing at a speed of $100,000 per year. In a perfect world, it would take you 10 years if you're growing $100,000 per year to get to $1 million. The problem is that this scenario does not consider churn. Now, your churn may be higher, it may be lower. We prefer much lower, right? But let's say 10% churn is applied to this scenario. What happens? Well, as it turns out, if you're in business for even 100 years, you don't even make it to $1 million. So this factor of churn is so important that it can stall our business out and flatline it if we don't deal with it. Even if you're growing at multiple hundreds or even millions of dollars per year, at some point, it's going to stall out if we cannot deal with churn. So let's dive into those 5 things that we can start doing right now in our commercial cleaning companies to keep our customers longer and reduce churn and keep growing more and more. The first thing is partnership meetings. All that this is that periodically, whether it's once every 3 months, twice a year, whatever frequency you set with your key clients, sit down with them and review the previous 3 months and then plan out the next 3 months. Essentially, what you're doing is acknowledging what happened in the past, showing how you dealt with it, problem solving together, and then you're buying another 3 months of time with them because you're agreeing to here's the plan moving forward. Partnership meetings are a fantastic opportunity to extend the lifetime value of clients, especially if they're on the rocks. And the ones that are great clients, it continues to build the relationship with them and connecting them to your business. And these partnership meetings don't need to be long. They can just take 15 to 30 minutes, and they're just with your key clients. You don't need to do these for all of these other smaller clients. You want to do this for your main ones. Number 2 is what I like to call a brand drip. And all that a brand drip really is a simple email that goes out every single month to all your clients, all your prospects, all your past clients, anyone who's ever been associated with your company. And it's going to include either some sort of helpful topic or company update or a holiday notification of some sort, but it's something from your brand that has your logo on it that's from you, and it's sent through your CRM system or whatever emailing system that you're using, and it's going to keep your brand top of mind for them. Just because you may have won them as a client now or you had them in the past doesn't mean that you need to stop staying top of mind. So a simple brand drip where you're keeping that communication open, they know that you're thinking of them, really helps the relationship. And it's not just a communication about what's going wrong, right? It's not like they reached out to you and they're asking you to fix stuff that's broken or that they're upset. This is forward-leaning like the partnership meetings. So they also have a lot of positive communication going on with you, and it's not all negative. The third thing that you can do is invest heavily in upfront training for your commercial cleaning staff. Just like investing capital at an early age in the market into a retirement account can accumulate massive gains. And the earlier that someone invests, the greater the payout is. The same is true with your staff and with their training. The more time that we spend upfront with our staff, getting the procedures right, getting the expectations right, preparing them for specific facilities and specific roles within those facilities, the better they're going to perform, the more consistently they're going to perform, and the more they're going to impress your clients. The old saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It is true right here. Prevent issues before they ever happen and focus on that in your training program, which, by the way, if you want help building out your training program or taking your commercial cleaning company to 7 figures, check out the links below where I can work with you in helping take your company to that next level. Number 4 here is going to use some psychology in our favor, and it's going to be a couple things. So we're going to start off this first one with, we're going to ask for them to be a reference for us. So whenever we're out there marketing and getting bids and getting more and more clients, we are most likely going to need some references for a lot of those really valuable bids. And if we ask certain clients to be references whenever they need to be called upon for those scenarios, suddenly they're going to have an affinity for our company. And just by asking this, by the way, you might find out whether they're comfortable being a reference or not. And if they're not comfortable, then ask, what can I do to make this work? What can I do to earn you as a reference? So ask them to be a reference, but there's more to this. You can actually scale this up 2 more levels. The next thing you can do is ask them for a review. As soon as somebody leaves a review for somewhere, they become much more of a loyal customer to that place. Their feet get dug in if someone tries to argue with them about why they chose to use that product, to go to that restaurant. Just because they left a review, they're gonna feel a lot more ownership and pride about that product, service, restaurant, whatever it is. So you wanna put that in your favor. And the same truth applies here as well. If they do not want to leave a review, you can ask it this way. What can we do to earn a 5-star review from you? And again, you'll get the answers that you need to get that review. The next and last level for this typically is going to be this. It's going to be, who else do you know? Ask them to actually refer you more business. Say, who else do you know that we can go help? Who else do you know that we should reach out to? And let them know that you told us to reach out to them. So now at this point, they have been a reference for us. They have left us a review. They're now referring business to us and sending us to other people, putting their name behind us, and it is going to build a much tighter relationship with that client. And then number 5 here is what I like to call the transition attack. So what is this? Well, in our industry, we don't always lose business just because of poor service. Oftentimes is because a new manager comes in, a new CEO comes in, some new hot shot shows up, someone wants to come into their company and make a difference, start cutting things, and make changes that they own. What you need to do is, as soon as you're aware of a change happening, is to understand when it's taking place, who it's going to be, how to get in touch with them, and then do something special for them, especially during the cleaning. What can we do on their desk? What kind of gift can we leave them? Can we set up a brief meeting, go meet them and shake hands? We want to be there and support their success in the organization. We want to put ourselves on their side. What do you need from us to help you be successful now that you are here? It's a transition attack because we don't want to wait and find out what they're going to do with us. We need to go to them and attack the situation and control it the best that we can and put ourselves in a position to keep their business. Which, by the way, this is a fantastic time to mention those partnership meetings. You can say, this is what we did in the past. Would you like to see it done differently? By the way, let's set a follow-up meeting to be sure that this transition is going well. It's not just marketing and sales that grow our business. There's also the internal decay of churn that we have to manage. And these are 5 things that you can do to help deal with that and to minimize that. Now, I had also mentioned the employee training piece. And yes, you can come work with me at the links down below. But if you want more information for free on how to train your employees, then go watch this video where we talk about just that.